Hi everyone, today we want to discuss snail farming in Nigeria. I would like to imagine some of the questions you might be asking in your mind for you to have come to this YouTube in the first place, search for snail farming. So I would like to be interactive with this and hopefully I will answer some of your very important questions. Now, from my experience, I think the most common question most people want to ask is how profitable is snail farming in Nigeria? Now, why this is a straightforward question, it is not having a straightforward answer. Some people will call to ask, is snail farming profitable? What these guys are expecting is yes or no. And this is my very simple and straightforward explanation. Now, in the business world, you hardly can say authoritatively any business is profitable or not. And I will tell you the reason. The reason is because business is not about what you are doing, it's about how you are doing what you are doing. Now, if you look at any business you know about, starting from oil to gold, to selling cars, to making phones and, airline or whatever business you think of, you will see people in the same industry who have done that business and make millions. And you will see people too in the same industry who have done the same business and run to loss. I'm going to give you some example. When you think about mobile phone, right? You think about Samsung that has made some wonderful phones and sell it at great profit, right? Now, you think about Apple that has made some great iPhones and some other, great phones and sell it at great profit. But what about Nokia? These guys too were selling phone. I'm talking about Nokia. But today, if you are not old enough, you might not even know that name anymore. And they were once the market giants. Now, what about several others that you never know about their names? They go into the same business that the likes of Apple, the likes of Samsung went into, but they run into loss. Now, let me give you another example because, of course, most people watching this are going to be from Nigeria. Now, think about telecommunication industry in Nigeria. We are having MTN, we are having Glo, but you remember there are some other MTN are making millions, Glo making millions too, but think about others who have gone to the same industry and run to loss. If you do not remember, I will tell you about Econet, then I will tell you about how they moved to Zain due to inability to cope with the trend of competition. Then think about Etisalat. Think about their crash, how they moved to Nine Mobile, and sort of things like that. Now, why am I giving you all these examples? When it comes to business, as some people may want to know, is snail farming profitable? Now, when it comes to business, you hardly can answer that authoritatively. No matter who you are, you cannot tell anyone it is or it is not. Now, I know the fact and the truth that some of these things I'm telling you is very strange to you because it doesn't align with many of the things you might have read on the internet. Why? Because many people writing on the internet may not even know what they are writing. Now, but take my word for it, I'm telling you blunt truth. Nobody in the world knows a business to be profitable or not. Now, how do you make your business profitable? It's really all about you. It's really all about how you do it. It's not really about the business you do. That is what I'm trying to make very clear to you here. It's not about the business you do. It's not about snail farming in Nigeria or all sorts of things like that. It's about how. Now, I want to leave that part while I'm moving on to concentrate on what really determines success or failure in a venture like this. And this is what I'm about to tell you. How you go about your snail business is going to be what determines whether it leads to profit. Now, this is how I'm about to discuss with you. Now, as you are planning your snail farming business now, I would like to challenge you to concentrate on the market first before you think about the product you want to make, which is the snail farming. Now, market first because no matter what you produce, no matter how great it is, no matter how plenty they are, market determines your success. So if I were you now, I would consider my environment, then consider the market situations, then consider the demand and sort of things like that. Now, prices of snail could go as high as some moderate size, about 5 of them, going for around 2,000 or even more in the market. But you still have to like familiarize yourself with, you know, these market women, understand how they are getting their snail, how much they are getting it, and all sort of things like that. This will influence your decision. Now, after we have talked about that, then you think about your site, your intended site. Think about this for a moment. Snail is a creature that loves a very cool environment. Now, how do you know this? If you have been to the farm, if you were born on the farm, and you go to the farm with your father, then you usually see snail in certain places. Now, think for a moment, where were those places you were seeing snail? You hardly see snail in a open, dry, hot place. Now, most of the times you see snail in the kind of like cool places. That is the nature of snail. That is the nature they can cope with. Now, when you are trying to make your snail pen, you have to consider this factor. Snails will not like sun. They wouldn't like dry environment. They wouldn't like, you know, anything to be called dry land. Now, when some people are making their pens, that is snail pen, they kind of plant some vegetables like ugu, like other vegetables that could be a shade and feed at the same time for the snail. Now, you have to consider that in constructing your pen. Now, let's talk more about sourcing your snail. This is very, very important. It's very, very important because the source of your snail will determine the productivity at the end of the day. Now, when sourcing your snail, you wouldn't go to the market women who are bringing little snail and selling them. And the reason why you won't do that is because you don't really know how, when, and how long they have gotten those snails. Take for instance, a market woman who has gotten the pieces of snail she wants to sell to you for about course of 3 weeks, 1 month. Now, snails tend to have enduring nature, so they don't die so easily like that. And you buy this, though these snails are still living, not dead, they are sickly, they are not healthy. Now, the best environment to get your snail at, maybe naturally from the bush or from the farmer who are reselling it. And one other thing you have to take note of is, in your snail farming venture, the most difficult time are going to be the dry season. Take that. And you ask me, why dry season? Very simple. Snail is what I've told you before. Snail really do not like dryness. They really do not like environment that is not cool. And in dry season now, you tend to have a lot of sun and a lot of the environment tend to be dry. Then what is the way out? Farmers tend to, that is farmers who know what they are doing, tend to wet their farm sometimes 2 times in a day, morning and evening, sometimes 3 times in a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. That is just to kind of like make the environment to still be natural as much as possible. Now, let's talk about species. You know, we have a lot of species, just as you can think about in any animal husbandry. We have all sorts of species in fish. We have all sorts of species in fowl and things like that. Now, in snail too, we have all sorts of species, but the common one, or the one that could grow so fast in this place, is the one they call Ghanaian giant. That is a simpler name for it. It is known as Ghanaian giant. There is this botanical name for it, which I really may not catch up with right now. Now, there are sort of things, other things to take note of why considering going to snail farming business. You know, their feed, their management, their diseases, the pest control, and so many other things that if we continue talking here now, we have a lot of time and your data for it. Now, but the last advice I can give you is, if truly you are going to the snail farming, after you might have made your research on the internet, YouTube, Google, and things like that, it will be very good for you to actually get trained by certain person who has been in the business for couples of years, or employ somebody. That is the second way. Employ somebody who has experience. Maybe the person has worked in a farm for certain years, or he has been running a farm for certain years and he wants to work with you. In that case, you are going to be leveraging on others people's experience. Why? Because you can't catch up without it. So you are going to be leveraging with their experience, what they have learned, during the years. Now, the other thing you can do is you can easily consult our company on the number you are seeing on the screen. You can give us a call. The way we operate is we attach you with one of our associate farms that is very close to you, or we take you through our training. No matter where you are in Nigeria, we can reach out to you. We use our experienced farmer to work with you, guide you on, sorting the source of snail feeding, management, training, and all sorts of things like that, so that you wouldn't make mistake, or we take you through our training. Now, those are just two ways I think you can go about your snail farming venture. Either you employ somebody who has been, experienced in the field before, or go for a training yourself, or get in touch with us while we link you up with our associate farmer, and they kind of like be your consultant for a certain year, or train you at a very comfortable location to you. Thank you so much, and expecting to hear from you, and we see how we can work on your project together. My name is Steve Oloruni. You can easily reach our company with the number you are seeing on the screen right now. Thank you for taking time to watch this video.